Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while. I haven't done as many of these as I should, so a lot has happened since the last update. So that means that this is going to be a two-video situation. I'll do this video. We'll cover basically the end of my chemo and my chemo for remission, and then I'll post another video shortly that starts about what comes next. So I finished my chemo rounds, which was GVD plus Pembro, a pretty common second line Hodgkin's lymphoma treatment, and I think the most common, paired with an immunotherapy drug. And I'm happy to report that things have gone well. I felt pretty good through most of it. I had very minimal nausea, and as you can see, my hair is still on me, which was unexpected. My little crazy, weird baby hair on the top of my head is still there even, which, like I said, was unexpected. But it was very tiring and very intense for me. So that's why I haven't done a video, honestly. After 4 infusions, I was pretty exhausted. And just between work and life, I didn't have a ton of extra energy. So that's largely why I've been kind of silent. But the nadir was about 2 weeks ago. So after I finished my last infusion, a week after that, I hit my low points and made it through, even though I was just really tired. And now it's been some time for me to recover. And honestly, I feel great. Probably the best I've felt since all of this started, which, kind of makes sense, because right now I'm in that window of treatment where, I'm not in active chemo, and I haven't started the transplant process yet. So for the next couple weeks, I hope to continue feeling pretty great. So the accumulation of this was just this past Tuesday. I had a PET scan to determine whether or not this was successful, what have you. And that PET scan came back Wednesday, so 2 days ago from when this is being filmed. And it was good. My results were good. So there's a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being no signs of cancer and 5 being, full-on active cancer. And previously I was at a 5, and this one came back at 2. And so what that means is there's still multiple places in my body where the lymph nodes are enlarged, although they do seem to be shrinking. But the uptake was no more than normal. So how lymphoma at least is measured is they put in a radioactive isotope into your body, and then they see where the different cells that suck that isotope up are, and then when they do the PET scan, it glows. So when cancer is active, those cells will eat more of the radioactive isotope than is sort of their fair share, and thus show up as bright lights on the scan. And in this case, while as mentioned, there's still some signs of enlargement, there were no places that showed the cancer taking more resources, sucking up more of the isotope than the rest of my body. So that's really good. Additionally, I had a lesion in my spleen that was very active, and that seems to have resolved as well. So all things considered, very positive result, particularly for such a short sequence of chemo. And what that means is that I hopefully will be able to continue forward. So there's a lot of tests that have to go on before I can start the infusion or the transplant process. But the first one is that I have to have at least a 3 or lower on that scale of active cancer before I can even be considered at all. So the fact that I'm at a 2 means that it's possible for me to move forward. And that sort of, great news that the first, this remission treatment has worked, and great news that I can carry forward. But it also is kind of a pivoting point, right, in terms of where I am and what my life is going to be like. So starting today, I will be working less or not at all, kind of depending. I might have a few more things I'll be handling at work, but over the last month I have transitioned away from all of my work responsibilities. And starting next week I'll be on medical leave, essentially, and actually as well. And that process is kind of scary for me, right? It's been a long time since I haven't been spending a lot of my time working, most of it, and I really like my job, and I really like the people I work with. And so even stepping away temporarily is a little scary for me. In some ways, ironically, it's scarier to think about taking medical leave than it is to think about dying, which is not, it's just because I currently just am pretty positive on my chances of living. So I am thinking less about dying just because it's not very high. It's not a very high likelihood in my mind right now. But obviously taking medical leave is a 100% likelihood. So I am really kind of thinking about what that means for me and how I want to spend my time. And my coworkers have been incredibly supportive, and they all say the same thing, which is that health is number one, and I need to take this time to focus on me and what I need to do to be healthy and to, live prosperously long term. And they're all right. That is definitely what I should be doing. But it can be a little hard for me to envision exactly what that means and what that looks like when I'm just so used to working. So yeah, I'd say the next couple months are going to be an interesting change for me, and an opportunity for me to really kind of think about things in a new way. So a little scary, but also, I'm looking forward to it. And I know it sounds weird to say that I'm looking forward to a stem cell transplant, but the reality is I just want to go, right? I honestly think the next couple of weeks, while I kind of prep, will be a little hard just because, I'm taking all the steps I need to do, but I can't really start yet, So yeah. I also just want to call out a big thank you to a lot of my friends, both here in Seattle and around the country, who have been sending me books to read. So I have a lot of books now, which is wonderful. I got like 25 different books to read, and that'll, really excited to get into those, and I'll have a lot of time over the next couple weeks in order to do that as well. So I've gotten through a couple of them, but I have a lot more to go. So it's really thoughtful, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate people keeping in touch, particularly as I kind of go through this adjustment. So yeah, so I think that's all I have for today. In the next couple of days, I'll upload another video that goes into more detail about what it's been like to start the transplant process, which doesn't officially start until this coming week. But there's a lot in that. a lot more than I had realized, if I'm going to be honest. So I'll do a separate video for that. In the meantime, just thank you all for caring, and thank you for your prayers and for your kindness and your communication. And I think it's going to be good. I've been saying lately that I'm in this to win it. So I'm in it to win it. That's the plan, and we're going to make it happen. So, all right, have a good one until next time.